So my disenfranchisement with posting photography on social media started around the time that I saw Robert's work. This image was everywhere. And I remember the first time I saw it, it wasn't a lot of engagement, a lot of traction on it. It was just a stunning image. Then maybe a year or two after, I believe he reposted it, and it just went viral, was absolutely everywhere. And I was happy for him. I'm happy for any artist that can make a living or who goes viral through art. But as a photographer, I knew this was fake. This is a digitally altered image. I didn't need any kind of disclaimer or information because I knew I've been to Venice. And in hindsight, I realized that most people have not been to Venice actually. So they don't know the image is manipulated, heavily manipulated. And I was looking through the comments and I noticed that so many people were saying things like, oh, I can't wait to go here. This place is amazing. It's wonderful. And he has no input. Generally, his captions back then, I haven't really gone deep lately, but they didn't provide context. I remember this was even before there was any form of artist in his profile. He never claimed to be a digital artist. He was always saying that he was a photographer, which is technically true, but his images are heavily edited. And this is something that we've dealt with when people are now arguing about AI and its impact on humanity. As photographers, we've been dealing with this shit for over a decade with Photoshop, where these images are heavily manipulated and they're being presented as authentic, as real, as straight out of the camera, to the point where places like National Geographic had to ban photo manipulation, where you had to send in your raw files. And even still to this day, Instagram does not, almost pretty much doesn't require you to say anything about if a photo is real or not. That's been a problem for over a decade. It's just hitting the mainstream now. So for me, I've always had an issue with how these platforms present information. So for me personally, I take my job as a travel journalist, as a journalist, as a photographer very seriously, because I understand that people will see my work and they might make a very expensive life decision. They might make a very dangerous life decision based on my work, what they saw. So it's my responsibility to give information and context. And once I started to notice that these platforms did not care about misinformation spreading like wildfire, they don't care about context, I felt disincentivized to post anymore, because I never made a lot of money. I have not made a ton of money off social media. Most of my work comes from commissions and offline, but to see social media pushing so much misinformation and manipulated photography. Most photography you see now, unfortunately, on this platform is heavily manipulated. It just kind of took a lot of the passion and love away from for me for sharing. But moving forward, I hope that I can share a lot more content with you guys in terms of still photography, because I still believe that still photography is one of the last true art forms left. I believe it still captures the human emotion like no other art form can. And apparently, some of you guys think I'm a okay photographer. So hopefully, in the future, you'll be seeing more of my photography. Excuse me.